dick.
Nope. You got DDoS. You're done.
Rape. We had a good run, huh?
Bring it back up.
It is back up right now, I think.
Load her back up.
I think it's... Is it up? You tell me. Hit refresh.
There's a little bit of a lag, so we'll see. I might have to hit the refresh. I think we're coming back up. Nice DDoS there. You got there. Yeah, we're back, bitches.
See, this is called the life of a streamer. Now, do people in fucking StarCraft have this problem with DDoSers?
Oh, fuck. Artosis deals with on the daily. We finally got him set up with a VPN, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
What is, like, the deal with the VPN? What does that, like, cost?
What's a private network? It's free.
What?
It's free.
Maybe it's free in Korea.
You just got to set it up. I think there's a way to do it free off your own. You can just use your own. I might be wrong.
I think you're wrong. I think it's like $10 a month.
I got Simon. You know Simon. I got Simon that deals with all that stuff, and he's brilliant. So
well, he needs. I need to get in touch with the Simon Says because.
The Simon Says.
Because it's just so fucking redundant over and over and over. And you know what's funny about that is so I found out that it's not just like, you know, back in the day, like there was standbyers in Halo, right? And what they would do is they would like reset their modem like multiple times, and it would lag the fucking game if they got host right. Okay. And then they would kill you because you couldn't shoot them, right? And those were just little angry kids. Now, I thought for the DDoSers were the same thing, but no. There's like, it's like a hierarchy, right? So this guy, and I think he's based out of Europe. This guy based out of Europe tells his little minions, like, he's like, all right, I want this stream hit off, I want this stream hit off, and he like fucking goes through the order of it. And then, like, now, once I heard that, I kind of like sat back and I was like, they're literally just doing this guy's bitch work, and this is like I have no respect. Like, I don't even get mad when I get DDoS anymore because I'm like, you're fucking pathetic. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How are you gonna fucking answer to someone who you don't even know trying to get his approval? You know what I'm saying? That's bad.
Yeah.
Hey, what can you do, huh?
Chat, can you tell that I didn't listen to a word he just said? That's so rude.
Wait, what?
I'm being honest.
What'd you say?
No, I had a really important message come in. I'll tell you afterwards, but I actually missed everything you just said. Can I get a TLDR on what you just said?
No.
No, come on, don't be mad.
I don't know.
No. Trust
me. You don't. It's done. You fucked me. This is what happens when.
I'm fucking you.
I asked for an hour of your time, and sorry it's ran late. All right, it ran a little bit late, and then you're like, oh, well, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going back to work. I'm EMG Tumba.
Yeah, I'll drop you again. I'll DDoS you myself. I'll give out your Skype right now.
You're too old to even know how to do it.
Don't make me do it. Okay.
Go ahead.
Fucking you would have been me going, yeah, Scott, you're right. And not knowing what the fuck you said, you thinking I knew what you said, and just me agreeing with you because. But I was honest, and I said, listen, I had an important message come in. I'll tell you about it after. You'll understand completely why I couldn't listen to you. So please, give me a TLDR on what you just said.
Okay, so what's funny is there's a delay between your expressions and what the fuck's coming out of your mouth. It's hilarious. All right, so now it's back up. So what I was saying, so you missed everything about the DDoSers.
Yeah, I heard the hierarchy was the last thing I heard.
Okay, that was it. That's it in a nutshell. That's it. There's a hierarchy, and one guy basically tells all his little minions like what streams he wants to hit off, like that day. Like
really? There's websites you can go to, and you just put the IP in the website, and they do it for you.
Yeah, that's it. So people just do their dirty work, and it's like they want to get better, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and this guy's gonna like promote me in his fucking clan of fags.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, it's like that.
Cool in a certain way, and it shouldn't to me because I hate it. But I see where it's like competitive DDoSing. I get it. So it's like the more high profile. What assholes? So the more high profile, if you can DDoS a high profile guy.
Like MLG got DDoS recently. I think like 2 weeks ago. And I'm sure that guy's like getting his fucking dick sucked by at least a 320-pound heifer. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I need to get Plan B's Skype or whatever. Or not Skype, but at least his Twitter, because that's like, I'm pretty sure we're related somehow.
Or you're in love.
Well, no, he's got to be a very handsome, smart individual. That's all I can say, but...
There you go. Why? Because he showered you with a couple quotes, huh? But I have liked everything you...
Same shit I knew, so...
Good. So, persistency, you think is that's the worthy trait to have for...
Yo, I got some cats that are super persistent, and I got to say it goes a long way with me. Because I mean, people that I haven't answered in months still hit me up. And I'm like, I got no time to talk to this cat today, but I appreciate that he's still coming at me, and I'll drop him a quick line, like, hey, super busy, love where your head's at, do this, and this, get back to me. You know what I'm saying? But
funny, you have time for them and not...
You look so sad in the camera. Hey, you called me to come on the show.
Yeah, that's right.
No doubt. Whatever you need, you know that. I love your pictures too. So handsome. Who's the guy you're sitting with in the picture on your?
That's Ghost. It's my former teammate.
Ghostface Killer.
Ghost Ayami.
Oh, totally different people. Not Tony Stark then. Okay.
Nah. Yeah, that's Ghost. That's the person who actually dropped me from Carbon.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Fucking weasel, man. Yeah, he's my buddy now. He's my buddy.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you know how it is. It's hard in the streets, baby.
It definitely is hard in them streets.
Yeah, as white as we possibly can be here.
I think it's always funny for when I see, you see, it's just, I don't even want to get into it, but when people get too ghetto, it's like, come on, man, you're from the suburb. We all are. Let's not even go there, please.
I like the people who, have you ever texted a person who, thinks they're, super ghetto? They text the worst out of everyone ever. Have you ever seen it? I swear to God, and it's it's just like how they say it, but they take extra time to capitalize every other letter. It's capital A, lowercase I, capital N, no apostrophe with the T, and then you're like, okay, and then it's a space, and then for you, it's a lowercase U and an uppercase U, and then it's the and signed. Dude, they fucking go out of their way to make it and then they put the little tilde, and then it's the one for one love and shit. It's dude, are you kidding me? I could never text that way.
Yeah, no, it's a whole...
That's a whole clusterfuck of shit.
I mean, I just text. I'm the generation that... I mean, I'm the cutoff.
Oh, yeah, you are.
A year older than me, nobody's texting, right? Not unless they have to. Me, I text all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It's your job. Tom, is there anything else we want to cover?
Hey, man, I'm here for you. I got tons of opinions on shit. You just let me know.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I got anything else. I think we covered just about damn near everything. All right. I will ask you this question. All right, and it's gonna be a big curveball, and I don't know how you're gonna answer it. And I think you're gonna fuck it up, and I really hope you fuck it up.
You want me to fuck it up? Okay.
All right. When do you see professional gaming becoming mainstream, or will it?
I think
owned. I knew it.
No, I have the answer. It's simple.
You don't have the fucking answer, dog.
Okay.
All right, let's hear it. Come on.
All right. The answer is, I don't think you're going to see it become more popular than Monday Night Football. But I'm probably going to be wrong on that because I've been wrong about shit in my life. And I hope I'm wrong about it. But to me, poker was a great niche on TV, and it made #1 on Travel Channel, and everybody loved watching it, and it was, very lucrative and fantastic. And I think this is better than poker. Has higher potential to go. On a long enough timeline, we may see it. There may be a day, but I don't see it in my lifetime to where, what do I see happening? I see a Hall of Fame happening for sure. 100%. I see a Hall of Fame. I see award ceremony, 100%. Big time. Sponsors, the whole nine. But I just don't see it kind of surpassing the bread and butter of...
Well, I'm not talking about... I'm saying, when do you think... Or will it belong on TV? Do you see it actually making...
Who cares about TV? We're ahead of the game on streaming.
You think so?
100%.
Why is that?
Everybody watches streams Netflix. They don't even have cable anymore. Like
Yeah,
they're either getting torrents or they're doing, which is, hey, you know what? At this point, don't even HBO Go sell as a standalone, and then so many people won't rob your shit because nobody wants to subscribe to HBO for the rest of the garbage trash shit that's on there. They just want their Game of Thrones. Let them get HBO Go. Let them just get Game of Thrones. Nobody wants to have to wait for the DVD and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that's your own fault it's getting pirated right there, because there are solutions available that you can make it more readily available. And that's what I'm saying. This whole thing, we are so far ahead of the game. I don't want to use TV as a benchmark. Why? It's a 1960s model that has worked till now, which is a great run. It started in the 60s and it's all the way till now. It's a fantastic run. Good job, TV. It's done. It's over. Like, those days are done. There's a new model now. And it's just a change that's going to happen. And I'm not just saying for esports. I'm saying for everything. People want their stuff streamed. The way we consume media is not the same as it was even 2 years ago. And the trend is obviously, more toward the streaming end of it. So I don't want to use TV as a benchmark. But you hear about things where, hey, we beat the NBA Finals on this cast, or we beat the NBA Finals on that tournament, or we have more than the All-Star game. Great infographics. Awesome. Fantastic. Doesn't make you mainstream. So I think to answer your question, mainstream, I'm going to say 10 to 15 years, we're super mainstream.
And you think it's all going to be done through, like, streaming and shit?
Absolutely. Like, I mean, it doesn't take Nostradamus to predict that we're all going to streaming. I mean, what changed everything also is the fact that you used to have a TV in your house that was hooked up to cable or satellite, and that TV sat right there. And that's where you got your media, and that was it. Well, now it's on our phones. Now it's on our iPads. It's carried around with us everywhere we go. We want it on airplanes. We want it wherever we are. And it's great, because you used to have to sit in a doctor's office when you were a kid with nothing to do but play with those little Lincoln Logs until you got to the age where you're too old to play with those Lincoln Logs.
I love me some Lincoln Logs, man.
Well, you still want to play with them, but you don't want to look stupid because the little kids are over there, right?
And they're sneezing and shitting on themselves. And
now you grow up to the point where you're out of the pediatrician's office, and now you're into the big boy doctor. You go there, and then there's the super hot physician's assistant, because everyone has one, and they all say the same thing. Just take your shirt off, get on the bench. You don't want to do it because you're self-conscious. What fixed all of that?
I dropped the drawers. When they say that, I just drop my pants.
The iPhone fixed all of that, because you could sit there instead of having anxiety over the hot, doctor's assistant, you're sitting there on Twitter going, oh man, I can't believe this doctor is taking 30 minutes to get me. He's 30 minutes late. My appointment was 30 minutes ago. And then you check your @ replies, and 15,000 people have said, right on, man. Me too. I hate when that happens. And you're having a conversation with your buddy. You're texting. You're watching a movie. You can do all this stuff now. So, I don't want to hear TV. What's TV? TV's a joke. In terms of programming, TV's a joke.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
Rant over.
Now, speaking of anxiety, man, like, do you still have those issues with anxiety and flying?
No. I have gotten to the point now where I can not only fly, but fly enjoyably.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, dude, for a while, I remember you. I remember, what was it? I think it may have been Orlando. No, it was Anaheim. I remember Anaheim, that you were fucking losing your mind. It was Monday morning. We were sitting at the bar.
No. That was that was Anaheim. No, it was not. That was Columbus. It was me, you, Slasher, Adebisi, Columbus.
And Lily, yeah.
20, and I couldn't find my Xanax.
You could not. And I remember you fucking losing your mind. And you're like, dude, I literally can't get on this fucking plane. Like, dead anxiety, dude. Like, wow.
I actually lost my sport coat. A really nice Kenneth Cole, like, really super nice one. But it's all right.
How the fuck did you beat that? Or did you finally just say...
Well, I'll tell you what happened. So then we had Raleigh. Was a little bit after that one. And then Anaheim was next. And I was fine on Anaheim. And then Raleigh, I said, you know what? I'm not going to take a Xanax this time, because I only take them when I fly. And I said, I'm not going to take one. And the flight got up in the air, and I'm going to tell you, about 10 minutes into that flight, I started getting that panicky feel, just the start of it. And that's what I said, screw this, man. Why am I going to put myself through this pain? Pop the Molly, I'm sweating. Whoop! In went that fucking, right there, went in the... Xanax. It was my last one, so then I had to start stressing out because I had to go back to the doctor and see the hot assistant who's going to ask me to take my shirt off, and now I'm married at this point, so it's like, fuck.
It's whatever now.
Yeah, now I got a bunch of different,
You're like, yeah, I gave up on myself. My wife is fattening me up, so
now I got to take a Xanax to go to the. So now this is true story. So what happens? I go back to get into the physician's office to get a reload on the Xanax because they only gave me a couple because I said, look, I only want enough for when I fly. No bullshit. The doctor comes in, different doctor. She's an attractive woman, nowhere near as beautiful or kind and thoughtful as you, honey. She was a very nice looking woman.
Horseshit.
She was a nice looking woman.
Yeah. Naturally.
Nice looking woman. That's either a 0, 1, or a 10. It's supposed to be a 10. But anyway, so she comes out and she's like, oh, what do you need these for? And I'm like, I have a little bit of a problem with flying, and these make it all better. And she's like, no shit, I have a problem with flying too. And I'm like, really? And then I had to go in and explain to the doctor why Xanax works. And then I kind of thought about that for a second. I'm like, wait a second. You're prescribing this for me because I have a fear of flying, which you have, but you haven't done this for yourself. And that's when I was like, okay, my God, this country might have a drug problem. You're right. But
it does.
I mean, I got over it. I still would not want to try to fly.
How the fuck did you beat it, though?
Sheer willpower, to be honest. So I just told myself, my dad is a firm believer and a good motivator and of my hero. And he told me, he's like, you just can't let this rule your life like this because, you got business and you got to handle your business and it's going to be everywhere. So, you got to do it. And he used to fly down. We would meet in Vegas every year. And one year it was so bad for me that he flew down from Pittsburgh to make sure I was going to get on the plane to go to Vegas, down to Florida. So it's tough, man. Anybody that has a fear of flying, though, like, do your research and you'll find out. Like, I know I'm not the only one out there that's afraid of it, but there's literally nothing to be afraid of. Those planes.
You're attacked, and did you actually have full blown like panic attacks too? Because the crazy thing about panic attacks is like, one, you're at that age.
I was a straight pussy, man.
I remember you were like fucking sweating. You were yelling at Lily.
I got off of the airplane. I got off of the airplane and drove to it was a family dinner I was going to in Pittsburgh the next day, thank God. And I got off the airplane, and you can't just walk off an airplane. Let's start there.
No.
But I did. And and I told him, I don't feel good. I don't feel well. What happened, I was fine, man. I wasn't fine. That's a total lie. I was fucking scared shitless. But I was scared shitless to the point where I was still going to get on the plane. And the plane, you know how the plane lands and unloads people first?
Yeah.
And then they clean it and you get on? Well, the people get off, and the last lady on the flight was crying her eyes out, bawling her eyes out, just crying. And that sent me into like, nope, not getting on that mother. No, not going to happen. And I was like,
fuck that, huh?
I was like, fuck that. That sent me into like, no, I want to cry. Like, she's crying. What happened? Was it a bad flight? Like, nope, not going to happen. So I get on the aircraft, and then just like in that movie, I forget what the movie was, where the kid gets off because he has the premonition that it's going to crash, and then death comes after him for the rest of the movie.
Final Destination?
That's the one. That shit starts happening, and I'm like, hell no, I'm getting off this plane. And I drove fucking 18 hours to Pittsburgh like a dumbass, and when the plane, by the way, didn't crash, smooth flight for 2 hours, I'm sure, could have had cocktails the whole way. But no, man, I just had to beast mode it and get over it. Now I enjoy flying, and what I do now is I take the Xanax, but I also have a Tanqueray and tonic on the flight, and then depending on how long the flight is, how many Tanquerays I'll have. So, if we're going across the country, it's a 4-hour flight or a 5-hour flight. That means I need 6 Tanquerays and tonics, or until they shut me off, or and pass out. So
you didn't actually beat it. All you did was really start drinking.
Yeah.
But now you don't dread it, I guess you would say.
I'll get on a plane for anywhere now. As long as
your compensation is getting drunk. I gotcha.
I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point I could probably do, I could do East Coast to East Coast easy. Up to Boston, New York, or Pittsburgh, cake. But across the country, anytime and also, man, flying sucks. Unless you're,
Unless you're in business. class.
Well, what's shitty for me is like when I take the flight to Vegas, I here's the shitty part: fly business class and do a layover, or go straight there and fly in fucking Spirit shitty airlines. Which nothing against Spirit, but fuck your legroom because you have none. I'm not the tallest. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm not the tallest dude in the world, but like midgets are fucking complaining about the legroom there. So you can, it's tight for Lily, and she's just a little bitty thing. So
she is a little bitty thing.
I'm like, fuck this legroom. But I got to say, like, AirTran, I love you so much. So
fuck AirTran, dog.
What?
I like JetBlue.
They're great. Love them.
JetBlue, like, you can get the worst seat ever. And that's, like, obviously, like, middle seat, like, row 32, where you're just fucked in the way back. And, like, even, like, God. And, you're sitting there, and you're still comfortable as hell. And you're like...
Yeah, I mean,
You get they give you the complimentary pillow and blanket, too.
That's beautiful.
You can't beat that. And, like, the blanket's, like... It's like made of wool, though. I don't know if you've ever felt it on your bare skin. It's just itchy as shit.
It's a little itchy.
I appreciate
the thought.
Yeah, I appreciate the thought, too. I like the pillow, too.
The thought appreciation blocks the itchiness.
Yeah. I mean, the pillow's nothing more than, like, like a towel wrapped up and thrown in a pillowcase. But you know what? I like that.
No, well, true story. You asked me if I could fly about the flying and everything. But, I mean, I have a bag packed in my car, true story, at all times in case I got to go to the airport with the neck things, like 3 of those, so I can pick which one I want. But yeah, I got a bag in the car, ready to go. But I got to say, AirTran took really good care of me. I ended up staying in Anaheim 2 days more than I had to. Canceled my flight back with Spirit, and there was a direct flight back. No, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. I had to stop in Atlanta, but it was fine. I had business class. I was like, I'm business class for sure because it's not Spirit and there's a stop. So. But man, their business class was fantastic. I mean,
well, dude,
I loved it. I slept the whole way, and that's when I know it's a good business class, is when I can just sleep the whole way.
For sure. But dude, Atlanta Airport isn't even like an airport, dude. It's like a humongous mall. Have you been?
They are all like that now. Where you been?
Shit. Yeah.
Wait, somebody's actually asking us, like, as we're commiserating on flying questions. Someone, do you guys think the success of Call of Duty that major developers will put spectators features? Okay. We
hit on this, huh?
Let me answer this. I can tell you I've already talked to publishers, and yes, spectator mode in esports is number 1 priority. They saw kind of the, not just FPS, they saw other games like SWTOR, like the Star Wars game, where you had competitive actually ruin the game. Like, if they would have invested into what competitive said it should have been, that game would still be around and, doing really well, but they didn't. They look at...
Did you really call it SWTOR, by the way?
Yeah, I can't think of the real title. Star Wars: The Old
Night
Republic?
of the Old Republic?
Star Wars: The Old Republic, yeah. So,
why?
I mean, and it's not just about, like, spectator mode anymore. Now you need, like, built-in telestrators, right? So you can draw on the screen like Madden, and and it's great because you give these tools to the casters and it allows them to tell a better story about what's going on with the game. And it's fantastic. It's all if you don't put something like that in and you're a developer, then you're just doing it wrong.
Well, dude, they also have to realize that, like, raising that bar for the spectator scene is like that's you don't have to worry about, like, putting in, like, a fucking cool and trippy campaign anymore, right? Like, you can come out with the spectator mode that's, like, fucking mind-blowing, dude. And that's going to do something better. But I'll tell you, the big thing, and it's something that StarCraft has never had to worry about, is the ranked playlist, man. Having a competitive ranked playlist where you can socially compare yourselves versus another person is like, if you don't have that, your game just ship it back, man.
Well, and then
fire everyone on your team and fucking ship it back. If you have that and no spectator mode, which is exactly what 343 did. Tumba, by the way, I know we haven't talked about numbers in a while, but just for numbers' sake here, Halo 4 came out. Yeah. All right, and we gave our warning. We're like that old guy, driving a tractor in a horror movie when we're like telling Kevin Franklin, like, turn back. Like, do it now. It's gonna be a fucking failure. And the guy's in the fucking station wagon with his family.
Screaming. People in chat and listening to this, I want you to picture Gandhi standing up. First of all, let me give you the setting. we're at a very fancy bar, like really high-end Hilton bar, and that sounds crazy, but it was. Well, the Hilton's a nice joint.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah, and it's a nice bar. Everyone's dressed real well, and everyone's conversating at a slightly higher than. It's a room. It's a crowded room, so it's par for the crowded room. All of a sudden, Gandhi stands up. Drinks are kind of knocked over, and he doesn't even notice. And waitresses are cleaning shit up, and he starts fucking screaming at Kevin Franklin over the rest of the entire room. So kind of everybody gets quiet. It's like, I don't know what this guy has to say or who he is, but it sounds important. StarCraft people, listen to him for half a second because it sounds like he's got something important. Oh, he's just talking about Spectator? No, we already have that in the game. Fuck this guy. So, but he got loud. So picture him screaming his ass off at this cat. Go ahead. What'd you tell him?
I can't even remember all the shit I said. But the first thing, do you remember, because it was me and you, we were sitting there. Best Man was there. Yep. Nexie was there. Do you remember I was sitting there and I was talking to him about spawns? And I know you know fucking nothing.
You were absolutely.
I know you know not a fuck thing about spawns, but I remember I was sitting there, and the thing that pissed me off was the fact I asked him. I said, it came down to a question, right? Like Bravo was actually at the table too, but Bravo's with 343 now, so he's kind of took a much more professional approach than I did.
Yeah.
But so
it's getting shit done in there to make it better, but whatever. Go ahead.
It's whatever to me. I don't really. It's hopefully you kind of just hope for the best kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But I remember I was sitting there, and the first thing I said, and this is when we hit the 1-2 punch, like we were talking to him, and we were like, I was like, just tell me honestly, is this game gonna ship with a spectator mode? And you're like, if it's not there, you shouldn't even fucking ship it. And he was like, no, we can't. We don't have time for that. And I was like, is it going to ship with the ranked playlist or else your game's going to die? And he was like, no. And I was like, I couldn't fucking believe it.
I know.
And so then, so this was like the first thing. And Tumba grabs me and he's like, I think we need to put you in another game. Badly. Yeah. He was like, you have a personality enough to get in there and maybe your credentials in this game can carry over, kind of thing.
Well, and it hurts me to say that, to be honest.
It does. It sucks.
Because I wanted Halo. Look, my son, Ace, loves Halo. He still plays Halo 3 rather than Halo 4. I don't know why, but, I mean...
Because it's a better game.
Under the tree was Halo. Well, now it's fucking Skylanders, but you get my point. Like, if he's going to play Halo, he still likes Halo 3, but... I mean, that hurts me because I don't want to have to put you into a different title to be successful. I want Halo to be successful on a competitive scene. There's no reason. We look at Call of Duty and what they're doing, man. I mean, and hats off to them. Good for them.
But this is kind of how we'll segue towards the end because I'm fucking starving. But
sorry.
No, it's fine. I'd love this. We could do this more often. We should actually.
For sure.
But so. He tells us that there's no spectator mode, and then he tells me that there's no ranked playlist. And essentially the algorithm that I always say is that in order for a game to be successful, you have to have three things. Competitive playlist, spectator mode, developer support. You can get away with 2 out of 3 of those, all right? If you don't have 2 out of 3 of those, your game's lifespan is about 6 to 9 months. 6 months after the fucking game comes out, but they went from 400,000 people playing the game to 38,000 at peak concurrence. That's peak fucking concurrence. And normally during the middle of the day, they're floating around like 15,000 because they fucking shipped an incomplete product.
I mean, it's horrible to do.
How the fuck do you fuck that up with Halo? Like, you know nothing. You personally know absolutely dick about Halo, but you know what? You know that Halo is Xbox.
Well, I mean, exactly. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to do a launch event, as you know, like our idea. We can talk about this now.
Yeah, because it's fucking done.
We contacted 343. We talked to him. We spoke to him. We said, look, let's do an LA launch event. Let's do a New York launch event. Let's get the pros out. Let's get them featured in a game, and let's get them to play some games with some fans. Do a huge midnight launch release at Best Buy, wherever you want to do it. We'll build the studios. We'll front some money for it. Let's go. And
yeah, so for my people's watching this, and I know that's like a lot to understand. So basically, EMG was willing to put money up for a launch event that was done tailored towards the competitive scene. Now, this is something that I've never talked about because, one, I didn't know I fucking could, but now I can, huh? But so we wanted to get pros in that area to come out to an actual launch event, like certain fucking set locations, and have like a fucking tournament that night, right? And then have personalities from around the globe or from around the United States be out there.
We could have had celebrities. We could have had, I'd have called Payne up. We'd have gotten different people. It would have been a great idea. It would have been fantastic. And what really got me thinking about it was, not to cut you off.
You're good.
Back on that flight I was taking out of LAX, there was a huge picture full of advertisements, and a beautiful panoramic comes up, and then Master Chief is on there. And I'm thinking, what the fuck did they have to pay for this ad? Because the other ads on there were like Coca-Cola, General Electric.
Oh, fuck.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, Halo. So I'm like, what did they pay for this? And then I'm thinking, okay, let's feature the competitive aspect of this game. And some publishers, they get it, man, and they would have killed for that opportunity. Would have killed for it. And, it was the right time to do it, and would have been the right time to feature it. But in hindsight, I'm glad it didn't happen. And I'll tell you why. Because exactly what you said, they shipped an incomplete game that can't be featured on MLG and you know what? You can't blame MLG for going with Call of Duty.
Well, no, and also I think Activision kind of throws them the cash, eh?
Well, good. I mean,
I guess that fucking model always kind of confused me, right? Like MLG gets money from the games to throw the games. You know what I mean? But I guess it's like that whole outsourcing thing, I guess, right? Kind of. I don't fucking know. I don't know how it fucking
outsourcing
works.
Is a good thing, especially if you do it within your own country. So what I mean by that is you're shipping jobs out. It's not about shipping jobs out for lower wages. It's about getting the people that know what the fuck they're doing to present it the right way.
Okay.
To do it better than you can do it.
Makes sense then.
And yeah, then in that situation it makes sense. Again, we would have had a fantastic launch event that would have been sexy and had, featured the competitive aspect of the game, and it would have been legit. It would have been legit competition. It didn't have to be sellout. But, without having the streaming, and again, I will say this. One thing about Kevin Franklin, he might have taken some heat in this podcast, but the guy always returned my phone calls, always.
He was willing to listen. He was
definitely willing to listen.
He didn't understand.
I think his hands were tied at 343. And, 343, call me. Call me up. Let's fix it. Let's make it right before you go ahead with. I don't want to insult anybody. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm saying, let's fix it for the next one. So it, competition's good, and it'd be great to have a Call of Duty and a Halo championship. And foster that growth.
Well, dude, I know you've kind of been under, but so me and my buddy. Well, actually, it's me and a couple buddies. We're like the trio, right? And that's kind of what it's coined name. But it's me, my good buddy Maven, who's also a personality. I can send you some casts just so you can listen. And Ghost Ayami, former teammate. We casted AGL, and we fucking shattered records for like Halo 4 streams since like Dallas, pre-event. But now, like ever since that happened, there's like 3 or 4 more tournaments that just kind of have fucking sprouted out of nowhere just because of that success. So it's not like Halo's fucking completely screwed. It's just not, where you want it to be. Which is good, though, because, I finally get to travel more again and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, so it's not like the scene's completely screwed, which is always awesome to see, And especially because it's like, I'm not going to say it wasn't like me personally that did it, you know what I mean? But like being a part of the factor that contributes to Halo still like being alive and not needing to be resuscitated is a good fucking feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's great. And I said like part of reviving it would be having to go back to the grassroots. We were talking about this. We were talking about this when Scoots was on a year ago with me, and it's like you got to go back to that and find your way again. And it's hard when you don't have publisher support. Sometimes I said at the beginning of this podcast, I hate when somebody comes to me and says, we can't do this. No, go to hell. We can do this. And trust me, I've done, some difficult things. When they said they'd never open that club up in Miami, they said, look, it's 24-hour, full alcohol, full nudity. There's no way. It can't happen. You can't get the licenses. The city will never let it happen. We got it done. So don't tell me that, you can't get this idea done. And the ideas that people say you can't do are the best ideas.
You think so?
1,000%. It doesn't mean that they're going to be the easiest.
Yeah.
But they're the best ones. Look at Halo. Spectator mode. You can't do it. Yes, you can. You can, and you're gonna.
Well, spectator mode is like, it's like a complete, like, come on, that's like a fucking necessity at this point, right? Come on.
It's just so, it scares me how out of
touch.
Yes, that some publishers are. Like, do they just not? Are they are they watching football all day? I don't know, man. What are they doing? What are they doing? I mean, what publisher goes, I know better than the community? No, you don't. You don't know shit, obviously. Like, I've seen it a million times from you publishers. You're so fucking out of touch. You're clueless. A lot are coming around, though. I can tell you that much. A lot are coming around.
That's good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tumba, any closing statements here? Twitter plugs, and, well, I'm going to put your Twitter in the fucking video, so it's fine.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, I want...
EMG, all that shit.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, if you're a competitive gamer and you want to get out there and get noticed and, we can help you out, please hit us up. Sorry, my phone's ringing on my desk.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like the buzzer sound. It's cool.
So, this is actually a company right now that I should be talking to, but I'm not going to because I'm on your show.
Yeah, well, we have to be closing out. You can call back. And you know what? It's better that you don't answer because then it's like, oh, sorry, I was busy.
No, not this time. But anyway, we just debuted iBuyPower today, and now they're getting me on Skype. Hang on. And that's big congratulations to Tasteosis. There's going to be more announcements throughout the week for different deals that we've done. So congratulations to all the clients, and big thank you to you, Gandhi. Love you like a brother, and everything you do for esports and the no bullshit. Also, I need to get Plan B. Get me on Skype, man, or on I keep saying Skype on Twitter. So it's at EMG_Tumba. I love the Halo community. I'm sorry you guys got kind of
shafted.
Screwed. I had a lot of ideas I wanted to do with Gandhi, everything from education-based stuff to teach new players how to play up to, like I said, the debut, New York, LA, Chicago, and, it just didn't happen. But that doesn't mean that we just give up, right? Let's push the developer
cut the fat.
Yeah, cut it, snip it, moving forward. But that's all, man. Big thanks for having me on the show. Big thanks
always
to the Halo community. Love you guys, and we'll get through this on the bigger and better.
Farewell, friends.